Representative Paulina Luna is joining us now. She's Congresswoman from the great state of Florida. You guys are kicking it down in Florida. I mean, you're making Texas look bad, quite honestly. But thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Glenn. I'd like to say we're leading out the nation, not just in politics, but also in the White House. So happy to be here.
Yeah. All right. I have to ask you a little bit about, are we going to war? What's happening? Is this negotiation? What does your gut tell you on this?
My gut is telling me that we're not intervening, and based on the president's statements, he is still, rightfully so, urging everyone to negotiate right now, and he's definitely been very open about this post, but I don't want to speculate. What I will tell you is that in the last 24 to 48 hours, I've seen so much disinformation circulating on the internet, a lot of it not even coming from sources here in the United States, and so what I will tell everyone is that don't jump to conclusions. Don't read into anything that Senator Lindsey Graham is saying or any other members of Congress that are speculating that there is going to be direct intervention. In fact, the White House just yesterday via Alex Pfeiffer on X posted that the military is not intervening, that we're just simply defending our own. And so what I will tell Americans is, first and foremost, President Trump has not changed his position on foreign policy. If he wanted to strike, he would have done it by now. And so everyone needs to pray for him, pray for our country, pray for the civilians in both Iran and Israel right now, and let the process play out.
Can you tell me, do you think it's a red line to send over a bomber with, one bomb? Does that drag us into war, or is that just helping?
I would say as of right now, we need to not speculate, but continue to back the White House position, because I think that if I were to speculate on where the red line is, I don't think that it helps. And I do think that our allies and adversaries are looking to see what members of Congress are doing. And so I'm going to back the White House's position currently, which is defending our service members and not intervening at the moment.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. That is exactly what I just said on the air just about
really?
3 minutes ago. Yeah, I said the world is watching. You don't think the mullahs over there are watching everything that's said on X? I said, we didn't used to have these conversations where it was global. We're now in a global atmosphere, and they're watching all of us, and we can't eat ourselves up, or they'll, if he's telling the truth, I think a good negotiator never bluffs. So, he has to back it up. 60 days, you don't want to see what happens on day 61. Well, he wasn't bluffing. And if they think that we are eating ourselves alive, they're more likely to go, no, you know what? Go ahead. It's a really bad thing.
What I will say is it's definitely a litmus test for our country right now. You're seeing a lot of people, again, jumping to conclusions. And what I will tell you is that there's only a very select few that fully understand what's happening in the Situation Room. That's the president, his team, and a select other few. But what I will tell you is don't read in, don't over-speculate, and also, too, don't jump to the conclusions. Just, again, in the last 48 hours, I went online, I put out a statement because I saw so much disinformation circulating. And, this comes amidst something that was announced today by Kash Patel, that the CCP has engaged in basically election engineering. You just saw that in the 2020 election cycle. They just got busted. This also comes on the tail end of these riots that are absolutely being funded by the CCP. Neville Singham getting lots of money from them. And then it doesn't just, stop there. We just saw that there was an agro-terrorist attack from China. So what I would say is that, I'm partially inclined to think that some of these bot accounts that are attacking the president, our foreign policy positions right now, are coming from China amidst everything else that we're seeing. This is, 3 times now that we're seeing that they've done things. And so we have to stick together. It's not, Democrat versus Republican right now. It's America and fighting for Western civilization. And so we need to make sure that we are very responsible about our commentary right now.
Very good. Very good. So can we talk a little bit about let's start with Neville Singham. The guy is an operative for the CCP, and he is pouring tons of money, and no one in the mainstream media wants to talk about it. They keep, that's ridiculous. No, it's not. Can you give us some information on him?
Yeah, of course. So it's not ridiculous. In fact, there's a lot of money trails that lead back to Neville Singham, and I actually will give credit where it's due. So I was on X, and came across this account called Data Republican, and she actually pulled the money trails tying right to Singham. He also lives part-time in Shanghai, China, and he's not registered as a foreign agent. And so I was able to talk to Comer, and every single member of oversight, after seeing the evidence that was presented, actually sent the letter, signed off on it, not just to Neville Singham, but also to AG Bondi to also request an investigation. And so what I will tell you is, this should have been done during BLM in Congress back then. It was not. Yeah. This needs to be replicated moving on forward with everyone else that is engaging who's not a registered foreign agent in this country. Also funding riots like this, which, in some instances have been acts of terrorism. You've been seeing that. And so right now, it's not just a playbook for Neville Singham. We're also, and this is up to Comer because Comer has subpoena authority, whether or not he's going to be sending a subpoena to George Soros, which I've urged him to do. We know that even though Neville Singham is a Marxist, that Soros is a globalist, but their end objective is, again, to dismantle the United States. And so we're basically being hit from both sides right now.
It is so refreshing. I mean, I've been talking about this stuff for 20 years, and it is so refreshing finally to have some people, step up and present this in a credible way in Congress and to the Attorney General, et cetera, et cetera.
Because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that